Alrighty. Yeah, so this is Crash Bandicoot 2 for obviously the Nintendo Switch, like it says in the profile. It's the remake edition, so it's not necessarily an older title. Very good game so far, in my personal opinion, especially compared to like the first game. So I've reviewed, I've got a really large database of game reviews, most of them that I have not publicly released yet, but once I release the file, it's going to be quite big. Certainly over like 100, 200 games, like something like that, all reviewed by me personally. But yeah, so trying to work through the backlog, basically, is what I'm trying to do to get to some of the newer titles. And this is not, like I said, a super old title, but it's not like optimal in terms of cutting edge type stuff. But so the first game was basically a little bit too hard. That's what they do with a lot of first games, unfortunately. Another good example would be the very first Rayman game ever made. It's just overly difficult. If you go back into like the Battletoads era, or like the Ninja Gaiden era for the original Nintendo, stuff is, it's just overly difficult and it's very hard to beat. Some games, quite frankly, were not even really designed to be beaten, such as like Pac-Man. That's why you have like some of the Pac-Man World Champions and stuff like that. When they actually get to the end of the game on like a Pac-Man or something like that, there's not really like a final level. The game itself just tends to break down. So a lot of those old games, that's just how they are. Not every game is going to break down like Pac-Man does with code going on screen and stuff. But they basically just get overly difficult and unnecessarily difficult. Some of them just kind of repeat the levels over and over. Where did I die last time? Ah, this is where I died. I was going to say it's going to be extremely difficult. But yeah, I mean, the first Rayman was overly difficult. And then the second one, I've already played it a little bit. The second one, I have basically like the 3DS version of it. It's not even close to how bad the first game was. So very similar case here, but this has got the same structure as the first game. They just cleaned it up a little bit. A lot of it, actually. And it's a much better game than the first one. It's actually been designed to be fun. Wow. Go figure. Ooh, I almost died right there. By Jerry. Jerry almost got me right there. Mr. Jerry. AKA the Penguin. Ah, come on. I'm deep into the level, so this kind of sucks. Can you do a Mario super jump in this game? We'll see. I'm going to try that in a second. You can do one kind of like upwards. That's technically your super jump. You see right there how his feet don't spread apart? And then if you tap the crouch button, that's the crouch button. Tap the crouch button and then do it, and then his legs kind of like spread apart a little bit when he hits like the high point. So that's upwards. I don't really know if... Oh, actually you can. I forgot about that. That's not really a Mario super jump, but he slides and you can jump out of there. That's more like Donkey Kong Country a little bit, kind of. God. Jerry got me again. Careful with that dude. This is not going too well. What have we got? So that can help, I guess. Oh, just got an extra life. That'll definitely help as well. But yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, some of the levels I actually streamed for Crash Bandicoot 1, the remake. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's crazy I even beat them on my stream, to be honest. They were insanely difficult. Okay, so we're going to want to slide and then jump. There we go. I think that's a new mechanic. It could have been in the first game the whole time. I'm pretty sure it was not. Just for good measure, I'm actually going to go back and look, quite frankly. What did my stream do? Shut off? Oh, no, it didn't. What happened in the stream? Stream should be good. What's going on, stream? Why you buffering? I don't know why it's doing that. Alright, so let's... Ah, look at that. Very sneaky. See if we can get that. Ah, that was one of them. So I got an extra life but died. How you doing? But now you compare this to, like, obviously, like the old school. Ah, that's not good. The old school graphics on what you call it, the PlayStation, which is where this game originally came out. This is entirely superior in just about every way graphically. Problem is they still left some of the mechanics in place, and Crash Bandicoot, I don't know if they actually meant to do this, but basically the way that this game works in a way is you'll have games like, for example, I keep going back to this Super Mario Odyssey for the Switch, which is probably the best Super Mario 3D game of all time. I mean, you'll obviously have some of the Galaxy games in there as well. Maybe Galaxy 2 is the best three-dimensional Mario game of all time. But Odyssey has very, very good controls, and most of the platforming, if not 100% of it, is based on, if it's skill-related, it's based on accuracy of your control and timing your jumps properly and stuff like that. Where these games, they're a little bit different. I saw this in an article where an article was talking about, I actually Googled, how do you do video game professional reviews? And I read an article on it, and there was a guy who was like basically describing like how I do them. I was like, oh, that's great. That's fantastic. So that was good news. But nonetheless, one thing that they talked about in the article was how some games, particularly, didn't mention Crash Bandicoot, but this actually is an example of how the difficulty is increased because of the camera angles. Like, you'll have really crappy camera angles, and you'll have to make these jumps, and you can't really judge where your character is as well as you would be able to on a game like Super Mario Odyssey. And that's way in front of games like this. I understand that. Odyssey came out way after Crash Bandicoot 2, but it doesn't really matter because they came out with Super Mario Bros. 3, the original for the Nintendo, well before this. So, the original one I'm talking about. So, in the first game, you saw a lot of that. Not so much in this game. It's a little bit different in this game. It's a little better. So, that's definitely a good thing. Is just flat out a much better game. So I got 4 as well. 3 will obviously be next. Then the racing game. Come on, man. Wow. So this is it. Just a nail in the coffin before Crash. Actually, now I'm gonna get a level up, or what's it called? Extra life, or 2. Let's just do it. There we go. Bang, got it. Gotta do me like that. That's okay. I need to go for that extra life. Oh, that looks wonderful. I don't know how I'm getting past all that. Let's do it quickly as possible. How about that? Oh. Territory I've never been in before. Into the game ever. It's saying go down, so we'll do that. It's probably the end. No, it's not. What do I got though? 2 lives. When it says 1, you got 2. Yeah, one of the things about this game is you gotta have it in your hands. If you watch somebody else play, you're like, dude, that looks so easy, but it's not. That's not how it works, because it does not have the same mechanics as something like a Mario, where you have really, really spectacular control over your character. The control is not bad over Crash, but it's not, like I said, like a Mario. Nonetheless, it is improved for the second game. There's no question about that. Guy, you can do it, really? You're gonna kill me there, and that's gonna be game over, I think. Wow.
Game over.
That's all right. I was actually enjoying watching my own stream of Crash last night while going to bed. I actually couldn't put it down. It was so exciting. No, seriously, it wasn't bad. And I'm just thinking to myself in retrospect, I'm like, dude, that jump that I just messed up on, some of the ones that look like they're easier, they don't feel that way when you're in the middle of them. That's all that I can explain them as. Because of the angles that you get with the game, so it is kind of it's a good game. And honestly, it's a good game because of that difficulty. The first one, I'm gonna check out the first one real quick and see if you got that super jump. I don't think you do. Let's see. Because that's at the beginning of that level anyway, so we'll just quit this out real quick. So this game I got beat. It should be right before the pink boss. It should be like kind of like a pink little thing. Yeah, right there. Or no, it's red like normal. Okay, so the purple ones are the secret level. That's kind of like a backtrack little point right there. And then you got Stormy Ascent. I believe this is a level that they added for this new edition of the game. I just want to see mechanically what they changed. Okay, so you don't have a crouch button in this game. It doesn't exist. It's the R1 button. You don't have that here. What else did you have in Crash 2 that was a little bit different? Well, it was all based on that one button, so I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to hit all the buttons. Honestly, out of curiosity. So yeah, they give you the slide in Crash Bandicoot 2, which is a significant improvement, and then that slide button, the R1 button, a little bit like Super Mario 64, kind of gives you an upward super jump. It's likely the hardest level in the game. Probably not going to try to beat it because I don't care, to be honest. No, I remember this part. This game is insane. I ain't doing it. Slippery Climb, the high road. Yeah, this was the one that was like absolutely outrageous in terms of difficulty. So you can get a ton of extra lives right there, whatever that is, I don't know. What is that time it's adding? So those are slippery little things right there. Ah, this level's so hard. Ah, time trial, is that what that is? I don't know. Tell me. So here's the trick with this map. This isn't exactly a cheat code, but hey, you know, this is what I did. Like later on, like these parts I all got, and I made it look unreal the way that I was. But then when you get to the hog, it gets a little annoying. It starts to hit you, it starts to get very annoying. Then you get to the turtle, and then that's where you're gonna build your frustration once you get to the turtle part. So what do? You're saying, Jake, what do I do? You're saying, Grande Jefe, I'm at a loss. What do I do? I'm gonna show you. You jump on the rope like that, and then you just walk forward. And we're gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it all the way through the map, but you can actually do that. I've never looked at a guide on the internet or anything like that, but I would imagine there's probably at least some guides on the internet that tell you to actually walk the rope just like that. And if you get it right, you just kind of like hold up. You got to get your angle pretty much exactly, and then you can actually go through almost the entire level like this. You obviously got to get on top of it first, which is going to take some lives or very good timing. So it is pretty tricky to do.
Game over.
Kind of do it right here in a safe way. Just like that, and then you got to make the leap of faith. See if you can get over. There you go. Ah. I still don't know what that goal. That's how you do it, though. I mean, it's better to actually do it. You got to get used to the level. Honestly, it's extremely difficult. It's one of the hardest levels that I've played in a platforming game in quite some time. But there's a level that's similar to that level that you play earlier in the game that's basically, you know, obviously not going to be identical, but it's very similar. Where you got to do the bridge walk. And it might be on this particular section. Wherever it is, I'm not sure. Play as his sister as well. We're going to go back to Crash 2 though, so because it says that's what we're streaming. So that's what we're going to do. Like a good little boy would do. Cortex Strikes Back. Yeah, this game is so much better. My God. Even touching that first one is just like touching mud. Alright, so Cold Hard Crash. I died like 1,000 times, but it was fun. The map was still fun because it's not really like overly difficult. But it did have some tricky stuff involved, there's no question about it. Yeah, Crash 4 is going to be good though. It's going to be probably like Mega Man 11. Mega Man 11 compared to the other ones. It's freaking spectacular, by the way. Ah, that's... Matter of fact, I should restart right there, but I'm not going to. We'll just go with it. Alright, so that's the quote-unquote easy part. Get to Mr. Checkpoint. Mr. Checkpoint. Want to run and then stop quickly. I think those fall, do they not? Yes, they do. There we go. Try to milk those. Let that thing kind of blow up out of the blast radius of you. Because remember, we want to stay alive, you know? Ooh, that's not good. That's not good for my health. It's not good for my future career as a Bandicoot. So we want to try to not touch those. What have we got? And then these you want to jump on top of for a little bit. A little bit like that. Because you kind of milk them. Those are kind of like the boxes in the Super Mario games that you can hit over and over for points. Same thing, basically. So there's the checkpoint. What the death trap is, I don't know. Let's just check out the death trap. Fuck it. Let's do it. Oh, that's certainly a death trap. Let's try this. So for some reason this didn't usually show up last time I played the game. Oh yeah, definitely death trap. There we go. The death trap lives up to... Oh no, it didn't. I didn't die. The super jump. People ever watch these as tutorials? You know, I disagree with that. There's not much I can do about it. I guess I did jump on top of his head. That's okay. Well, life goes on for the Bandicoot. Remember, we're milking those like the Super Mario Brothers boxes for coins. We just gotta level up. I'll still continue to call it that. There we go, we got that guy. Okay, so what you want to do here, I think I got this part down now. You want to kind of start out right here and then start to go like right here. And then you got it. This guy's kind of got like a little radius that he goes through. And then he ceases to be a bad little boy. And then we can take him out. So he sees the little tip of your hair. Look at that. That was unfortunate. So I don't know what those do right there. Is the part. There we go. We got it that time, though. We're good. Do a little slide right there. And since I'm feeling enthusiastic, ooh, there's another extra life, or a level up, as I call it. We're going to try to get to the extra life back here. That's tricky. That's tricky. We got it though. So in this game, I mean, if you got like 20 lives, I mean, you're in good shape. We got 7. Okay, I'll see you later. But yeah, if you got like 20 in this game, you're in very good shape. So that's the way that works. We're not going for that one. We're not even going to try it. There's no point whatsoever. Yesterday, I beat and reviewed 2 games, or at least I finished them. I finished G.I. Joe Operation Blackout. Not a bad game. It's got potential. Those G.I. Joe games, the one that they made recently, it's got potential, but it just wasn't done right. And I don't want to give full feedback on it because it's worth money, and I'm probably going to start, honestly, some sort of paid venue where, I don't know if I maybe give developers advice on what to do with their games, but that game's got a lot of potential. That company. I mean, whoever basically has like the G.I. Joe franchise, or tag, or IP, whatever you want to call it, that's got a lot of potential. Especially kind of going into like third-person shooter territory and stuff like that. That was not a bad game. I didn't rate it super high, but again, not a bad game at all. It really was not. Alright, there we go. That was good. So just for future reference on these Crash Bandicoot games, I would imagine it probably worked the same way back in the day for the original titles. If you hit an enemy with your little spin shot, it makes it fly, and you can make said enemy fly into boxes, and obviously some of the boxes can include some of the bad boxes, right? Like the red ones that are TNT, and the green ones that are like Nitro. So here we're going to go Mario style once again. Oh wow, so you just hold that button and he does the super jump. That's kind of cool. I thought it said you had to crouch first. It does, actually. But now you just hold it. I guess that technically counts in a crouch. I don't know. I don't know, stream. We don't know anything. We're a bit of mere Bandicoot. That's not good. Got him. Oh shit. I'm playing like I have a freaking backup hit. I don't. I'm playing like a boss right now. Crash is nice to be fucked with. Nice to be fucked with. Try this area here. Can't tell if it's too far. I can feel it. I don't like that feeling when you feel something bad. It is. I can feel that one too. Jerry's gonna get me. I felt like I should have won that exchange. First to 5. First to 5, pal. I'm not settling like, we're not going down like this. We got an extra life, we're good. 4 is not bad. I mean, deep into the level like this, we're in not bad territory. Did I get the crystal yet? Yes, I did. Okay, so that's good news. That's good news. Mucho bueno. Let's see if you can jump up there. No, you cannot. We're gonna have to like go in the middle. Do those fall or no? No. Oh, they do. Okay. Well, all right, we made it. We got it. Discussion unnecessary. Level over. We got it. We got it. Stream. Alright, so see the difference between that level being difficult and some of the Crash Bandicoot 1 levels being difficult is that one was actually fun. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way that it works. Alright, so we got what? We got, looks like 2 more levels and then the boss of the world. And you can call this a world, I suppose. The world that's going to be right before like the final world. Each world's only got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels in it, and then a boss fight. So technically 6 maps, I guess you could call it that. And then you cannot go up yet because I have not completed this world. But if you really think about it, you can call it like a little world or whatever because it's very similar to like a Super Mario Brothers or something like that, where like Super Mario Brothers for the Super Nintendo, for example, aka, obviously that's why it's got the Super in it, right? Well, not really, because I think they actually named it that before, so I take that back. But yeah, I mean, per world, even in like Super Mario World, actually, my bad, Super Mario World for the original Super Nintendo, it's only got like probably like 6 levels per world, so it's the same as Crash, really. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 10. You know, it is what it is. All right, this one's called Ruination, so I have a feeling they're going to send Crash to ruins. Like ancient ruin type stuff, right? That's the reference. Yes, sir. We are in some ruins here. Perfect jump there because we got the timing on that guy. Ooh, look at them being sneaky. Those are like the worst boxes in the game, by the way. The green ones, the nitro ones. So the difference between the green ones and the red ones is the red ones you can touch, and then you got a 3-second countdown clock to get away from them before they go boom. And then if you're in the blast radius, Crash Bandicoot goes bye-byes, and he dies, and you lose a life. But with the nitro, you just touch it one time, and it's just poof, you're done. So it's interesting. Doing all these reviews and spending so much time in the gaming field is what I've been doing lately. I've been kind of discussing gaming with other people. And I don't want to say that I'm arguing with these people because I'm not, but sometimes somebody will kind of indicate that they don't understand something about a particular franchise or a game, and I'm just like, and I just reel off like I know everything. So my studies are paying off in that field. I'm well schooled in a lot of different fields, kind of like a Leonardo da Vinci. I'll be right back. I got to do something. Speaking of Leonardo da Vinci, I mean, I am very similar to him in the sense that it's actually kind of a bad thing. He wanted to perfect everything. He was kind of like a perfectionist. You could call it ADHD. I would kind of just wave the magic wand and say that in relationship to my issues. But yeah, I mean, he took like forever to create some of the paintings, the allegedly legendary paintings that he created. And some of them took like 4, 8 years. He was working on a single painting, and I don't even think that they were that great. That's just my personal opinion. Now he was experts in other fields as well, besides like painting and artwork and stuff like that. Obviously, he was like a botanist and experts in other areas. I don't know why you'd want to be a botanist, but to each their own, I suppose. With that said, I'm constantly refining a lot of what I do, and some of my reviews at this point, not all, most of my reviews are final, but there are some games I've beaten like 7 times, and I've already rendered a review after beating the game again, and then I'm like, you know what? I just don't feel like it's done yet. I feel like I didn't listen to every tiny little word in the story, and I feel like that could potentially change my opinion of the game, so I might have to review it again. And that's really how I feel about some of that stuff. So I might end up beating a game like 9 times, not this one, because this is just a little platforming game. There's not very much going on here besides reaction-based timing, and you got to use your skills to kind of jump through the area. Not very much going on with the first 2 Bandicoot games so far. I'm not really sure about the third one, but I do know the fourth has a lot to unlock, a little bit like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze or Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's got, like secret worlds and stuff like that, or secret levels. But I will be right back. Alright, so that green guy, he actually doesn't look like it, but that's one of the very few enemies in the game that looks like you can actually touch and then kill them with your little move, but you actually can't. You can't even touch him. I didn't realize he was going to rush me. Hurts my confidence levels, Reptoid guy. What's up with these Reptoids in all these games? It's like they're trying to tell me something. What's going on with the Reptoids, bro? Come on, man. Break the news to me. Alright, so does he go this way? That's the question. No, he does not. So he just kind of... like that. Oh, that didn't work out. Okay, so if you press the button, do you do the slide? No. It's got to have like a forward or a backward. It's got to have a directional input as well. Continue doing this, even though it's risky. This is risky right there. There you go. Ah, we gotta check one. How many lives though? 2. Okay, very good. Mucho bueno. Jump right about down. Wing. There we go. Slide. Okay. That was a little scary. I am personally scared. Got an Ubada right there. That's good news. Mr. Ubada. Oh, all nitro boxes. Well, that was quite the gift. How do you even get around these? I don't know how you jump through that, but we're obviously going to try. Anyway. A degree of precision that probably going to fail on, but that's okay. I had to Ubada. Oh, goodness. Starts me out here, that's fine, okay. Bust that dude's ass. That's why I said this game's a little unusual in the sense where the spectator might be watching and be like, man, how'd you lose right there? How'd you die? It looks like it's easy. It could look easy, but don't feel easy when you're doing it. It's got some tricky platforming. There's no question about it. It's fun, though. It's much better than the first, like I keep saying. But notice the angles here, right? Like you can't change your camera view. I can't hit the right joystick. The right joystick does nothing whatsoever. Obviously, the left joystick does this. You control your character like that. Or you can use the directional pad if you prefer that. But your camera angle is stagnant. It stays in the same position. So in some cases, you could, in theory, make a really shitty jump just because of your camera angle. That's just the way that it works. So that's how some of your old school, more inferiorly, that's the word, design platforming games just operate. That's just how they work. It's just how they kind of added the difficulty into the game. Was they're like, okay, we'll have really shitty camera angles, and if you don't like it, that's too damn bad. You're going to have to work around it, buddy. That's what developers would say right on their live stream while they're developing their game, but I think I could be wrong. I don't know. Got on top of the monkey. See if we can get around those again, and we do. And we do. I was going to say, I thought there was an Ubada there is. So this time we're going to avoid hitting that little metal barrel, because remember, that's what kills you, actually. I suppose you could walk through right there if you could see Crash's left foot down through the Tesseract, which is basically what that is right now. You can see that it's not touching. So I guess if you accidentally hit it, you could do that. Your arms kind of don't really count. I don't think it's really your feet. Right there, I think maybe I'd be touching. We don't really care, right? Nobody does. Nobody cares about that guy either. We're tired of him. Alright, we got a checkpoint there. Very good. Well, I was going to say I can't really judge if I can make that jump right there. We're just going to have to take a risk. But that was mostly with checkpoint in the way. No, you can make it easy, a little bit too easy, actually. Jump now, because that's what higher. I almost timed it perfect. It's all good. There should be good, and we'll just do a super jump there. Super jump there. That didn't work out. Did not work out too well. Alright, so here you can actually get lives. So that's why these are kind of like little bonus areas. You can die. So part of the thing that what I'm doing with my YouTube videos is I'm playing a shitload of games, and I'm trying not to cuss as much, so they're somewhat in the realm of maybe like T for teen or E-rated territory. That would be the preference. But on the same token, minus some occasional cussing, making me a bad little boy, obviously. I would like to give a little bit of feedback on how you play the game. So these areas right here, you can die, but at the same time you can't. So I've got, in the bottom left-hand corner, it says that I got 6, what are those? Walnuts, little apple-looking things? I don't even really know. Just know you want to collect them because you get extra lives if you do. So that's basically the way that it works, but I had like 6 at the time, and you see how if you quote-unquote die, it takes them away. It doesn't add them to your count. You got to get to the end of the bonus area, and so far as I understand, at least in Crash 1, you can play these bonus areas as much as you would like to. Generally, they're designed for you to get extra lives, and that's what I'm going for here. I just died, but I didn't die, as I was talking about a second ago. So the thing is, some of these random boxes here will actually give you extra lives. Okay, so if that makes sense. So here's probably where the extra lives are. Nope. So there could be some up in here. So it does not kill those, okay. So they're probably going to be like right there. You gotta be a little careful here. It could be in any of those. I mean, there's a couple where it gives you no extra lives, but technically I'm going to get an extra live out of that area because it gave me 99 nuts. Let me Google what those are real quick, because I actually am curious what the hell those things are. So this is where the research comes into play, folks. And if I get into like an online argument with somebody, I can be like, nope, those aren't nuts. They're this. This is what they are. I'm sorry, buddy. You're wrong. You're wrong, and I'm right. That's all about. What are the nuts in Crash Bandicoot? The Atmosphere is a ball that Crash Bandicoot rolls around in various games. It's not what we're Is Crash Bandicoot a dog? He's not a dog. Crash is a mutant Easter-barred Bandicoot who was genetically enhanced by the series' main antagonist, Dr. Neo Cortex, and soon escaped from Cortex's castle after a failed experiment in the Cortex Vortex. Okay, I didn't know that. Interesting. Alright, so he's like a mutant. He's like a super soldier, basically. That's pretty cool. Like, literally. Like, to a degree. He's kind of like a mutant super. He's kind of like an X-Men. Alright, how old is Crash Bandicoot? 25 years old. Alright. Can Crash Bandicoot speak? What kind of question is that? That's racist. Of course he can. Oh, it actually says that he cannot. I could have sworn I heard him talking in the game. What species is Crash Bandicoot? Eastern Barred Bandicoot. Okay. But like I said, obviously, earlier on, we were a genetically engineered mutant version of that. What the hell are the things there? Okay, let me rephrase it. Are those apples in Crash Bandicoot? Wampa fruits. Okay. These apple-shaped fruits typically sport a red to yellow to green gradient and contain purple juice. Wampa fruits grow on yellow palm trees and mature seed is typically much larger than the fruit itself, indicating that it might keep growing after the fruit is gone. So now I'm educated. Now we, as a stream, are educated. Alrighty, back to the game. So we got 99 Wampa fruits. Was that what they were called? I forget already. They had a weird name. Weird names are hard to remember. So where the hell do we go from here, dude? Do I go back on this again? Oh, whoops, I was at the end of the bonus area. So that's going to add to my overall count, and after that I had whatever it says +1, I think, right? No, whatever it says -1, I had it backwards. I'm really good at math. Ah, that racist, bro. Seriously. Now I got to go do this whole thing again. So what does it do, like an autosave? No way. That's just messed up. Ah, that's okay. We'll start at the beginning. This is a good game. I like this.
Game over.
It's getting harder though, boys. It's getting harder. There's no question about it. Like I said, this is the second to last world in the game. Hey, Cortex did warn me that it was going to get more difficult. He was right, I guess. He's pretending that's the main boss of the game. He's pretending to be your friend this time around, so he kind of has a few chats with Crash. A few little allegedly friendly chats with Crash, pretending to be a good guy. We've seen some other people. So that was a good move right there by Mr. Bandicoot. Call him that. So the lizard reptoid who runs the government, he probably runs the government in this game. Gonna make a quick one there. Right? We're past that area that used to be more difficult than it is now. Ah! They touch you just so quick. You don't expect it. Just a little touch, so you're gonna time it like perfectly right now. Ah, they hop. You know what? I didn't even realize that this fucking box is hopping just now. I genuinely did not realize that, but it's a learning lesson. Yeah. They actually hop? Are you fucking serious? They do. Don't they hop higher than that? No. one. Okay, there's not even a time between. Oh yeah, the one on the right just topped pretty high, so it's like a random fucking thing. Oh yeah, that's pretty high right there. So it's the high hops that are gonna get you. I don't think those. Ah, oh, God. Like I said, it can be tricky to kind of judge your character here. We're gonna go for it on this last leg. Fuck it all. Fuck it all, bro. Go for it. We got the Ubadada with us. We're good. Ah. Alright.
Game over.
That thing's cool. I like that thing. What the hell even is that thing? Oh, that's the thing that's the Ubadada thing. That's the guy that protects you. What's he being like all evil to my face like that for, bro? Kind of creeping me out a little bit. So, I feel like they should have done like an overall Crash package. Like they're doing with, you know, some of these other things. Like Mega Man has done it with the Mega Man games, even though it comes in two slices, so to speak. You can get Mega Man 1 through 10 for the PlayStation 4. Excuse me. And it's technically on two sets, like it's two games basically. You have to buy two complete packages. So Mega Man 1 through 10, I think you get 1 through 6, and then you get 7 through 10. I think that's how it works. And I beat all of them, and then the only way to get Mega Man 11 is to purchase it digitally, but I said, nope, screw that. I want to own that game just like I do all the other Mega Man games. I'm not going to go 1 through 10 and then just get 11 digitally. Why the hell would I do that? 11 was downright spectacular. I streamed it on one of my other streaming platforms or something like that, and played all the way through it, beat it, and it was just really cool. You got like a slow motion feature involved in it, a little bit like bullet time in the Matrix films. You see that particular feature increasingly appearing in some games since the introduction of the Matrix films way back in, what was it, like 1999 or something like that. You obviously saw the Max Payne games that came out after that were really big on that. And that would be another franchise to purchase. I mean, G.I. Joe would be a good IP to have because it's got potential. Max Payne has absolutely got potential. Castlevania is, you know, very obvious potential. There is big names trying to purchase Castlevania right now. Smart move on their end. If you got the money, do it. You know, that would be the thing. But there's a lot of depth. There's a lot of failure in the Castlevania, and there's a lot of success as well. There's not actually that much failure. There's more success than there is failure, I think, with the Castlevania games. But certainly, there's a lot of depth to the storyline that anybody who were to purchase the IP would have a lot of access to, because as soon as you get that IP, so far as I understand, you get access to it all. Perhaps minus some areas here and there, like the Hideo Kojima. It's either a duo or a trilogy, where you play as, what is that, Belmont's Gabriel Belmont? Spoilers. The Vampire King in the first one actually becomes Dracula. So that's why people are like, I mean, Hideo Kojima is a little bit like the type of guy that can turn something into a golden turd. You know, like, once you see it, you're like, wow, that's golden. And you're like, but, you know, wait, it's a turd still. So he has the potential to kind of improve something, but also at the same time kind of destroy it. He didn't destroy Castlevania. I played Castlevania, whatever it's called, the one that he made. He made 2 at least, I believe. But there is a third one for the DS, or the 3DS, I think. So it's technically kind of like a trilogy, but I don't know if he played a role in that DS title. But you can also download it on the Xbox or whatever, the PlayStation. What are those games called? Castlevania Legacy of Darkness? No, I forget. Anyway, it has the Gabriel Belmont character that turns into Dracula. So one of like the main groups, like the main families of the entire lineage of the story, the Belmonts, you know, you got like 6 of them throughout the entire span of hundreds and hundreds of years, if not thousands. What Hideo did was he took one of the Belmonts and he's like, I'm just going to turn him into Dracula. So I guarantee you that when I play it, I'll like it, and I'll like his angle probably. But on the same token, I mean, I don't know about that. So they kind of wrote that off, is what like mainstream. That's considered a spin-off now, so you know like that. But on that same token, I played the first one, not the second one, or the DS game that you can download on Xbox as well. And as I was playing through it, I was like, you know what, this feels like a Metal Gear Solid game, because it's got all the angles of like the classic Metal Gear Solid games, such as like Metal Gear Solid 2, 1, or 3, where you can't really change the camera angles. I was like, dude, this feels like it was a Metal Gear Solid game. Sure enough, Hideo Kojima was one of the leading people that actually had a say in that title. So not super surprising, but alright, we got that checkpoint there. This is where I was before. Let's check the lives. We got 5. I think 4 is 5. You still got a life when you're all the way down. Got that. Where I kept dying. I think I kept trying to get fancy right here. Did I not? Is that what I was doing? I believe so. Okay, so what did I get here? I did get here before. Alright, so we'll get a extra life out of this, I suppose. I'll take it. Ooh, careful, careful. Alright, so we got... That kind of sucks, because it can only give you 100. It can't go over, because it doesn't really issue the extra life yet. So it says 0 in the corner, but that 0 is how many lives have I got in this bonus area. For anybody that goes back and watches these, perhaps a guide later on. When my fucking YouTube channel goes superstar status. I'm actually kidding. I'm going to create my own video streaming platform. Or video distribution platform. Whatever they call it. But one of those, yes. Alright, so we do not have an Ubadada here. Not good. But we can sidestep the dude. And then hit him from the side like that. Ooh, that looks unfriendly right there. Does it not? So first of all, that platform in front of me, well, it falls. I'm not a fan of this part. I hesitated and I actually didn't hold forward long enough. And that's what did it. It's actually that simple. Why did I do that? Because I forgot their properties. That's why I did that. Okay, so we got another life right there. So we're in very good shape here on this level. That looks kind of fucking weird. No clue what's going on with this. Never seen these in Crash Bandicoot history. Oh, it just slides. Well, that's not too bad. A little sneaky, but you know, you can handle that. It's actually kind of cool. See, that's a property that increases the difficulty by just a little bit, but it's kind of cool, actually. Can't say enough about this game so far, honestly. I cannot. One of the things about these Crash Bandicoot games overall, however, as kind of like the world-class video game analyst, as I am, and I like to brag about it, but it actually is true. Is that you don't have the momentum. I played so many video games over decades. But on the same token, so I'm a pretty good analyst. But on the same token, this game, you know, compared to like other platformers and stuff like that, you don't really have a speed option. You know, like if you're playing Super Mario Brothers, most of them you can actually hold one of the buttons, and I actually do that as a default mechanism, or like a Donkey Kong Country. I'm still doing that as just out of habit. I'm holding the Y button, which does. Oh, that's your hit button right there. So I hold that to feel like I have increased speed, when in fact it's the same. So my thumb is now off of the Y button, and your speed is obviously the same. So we'll touch that this time. I thought if you touch it, what do you got to jump on it? I thought you could touch it apart. Probably could. Okay, so you could kill those like that. That's cool. So I almost swung on it again. I was like, let me just punch it. I was like, nope, don't punch it. So 5 lives, alright. But you do not have a way of continuing your momentum going forward with your jumps in this game. You got to hold the direction of whichever way that you're going the whole time. And you would say, Jake, that's obvious. You should have to do that in every game. That's not the way that it works in every other game. A lot of times when you jump, you could take your hands entirely off the controller of a game. I think even like Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that. And your character will still go forward a little bit because you have that forward momentum and you're already going in that direction. And you would have to hold back to actually stop that momentum, right? This game does not have that. So it does feel a little sneaky with some of those deaths, if that makes any sense. Just because you're not holding it, you know, hard enough or whatever. Like right there, it was just a bad jump, obviously. Those guys you can kind of bounce off of. That's going to miss, I think. Oh, wait, it might. No, it's going to hit. It's going to hit. Just misses. That blows. Good. Yeah, so once again, though, you know, not like overly childish music. This is not exactly a childish game. Crash has never been. Crash is a game that, quite frankly, could go into the territory of like being M-rated if it wanted to. You know, kind of like a Zelda or something. I don't know why I did that, but it's okay. But it could. I mean, you could take the game to like M-rated territory. It would be a bad idea, quite frankly. We got it. This one should be pretty easy. Actually, these are a little bit harder the second time. I swear, there's the noob. There's the lack of fear. The first time you go through some of these areas, you can just do them easily. And then often the second time and the third time, you're like, oh my god. This just doesn't feel right. So you got a little die right there. That's just what I call them. That's what they are, boy. They are, boy. So the try to get to the source of this issue here. It happens to be a new enemy. Seen some of those dudes in Donkey Kong Country, however. Let's see what we can do here. There we go. We got over it. Okay, so he is killable, so that's good. We have the thing. We have to. Because we're at the end. Sweet. So I opened up my chat, but I'm actually not looking at it at all because I have my setup on my computer different. The traffic that I'm getting with my stream lately is people watching, popping back in and watching replays. I imagine I'll probably change in the future with some advertisements that I do. Like I said, I will be creating my own video distribution platform in the future. Should be interesting. And you could say, well, Jake, you know, the Democrats might try to shut that down. Well, you can also own your own domain registrar company if you really want to go that far, which is what I'm looking into as well. That's something to look at, just to kind of... I'm not saying that I'm trying to scare the Democrats, but I do know that you got to go through, what is it? I forget the name of the company, but it's in Los Angeles, California, where you actually get accredited to become a company that can let people have domain names. That's basically what a domain registrar company is. Those are the guys that actually issue domain names to other people. That's the company that does it. Some people get banned on those. I don't have any reasons why I would get banned, but with the way things are going these days, you never know. But I don't foresee any reasons why I would be banned. But you got to protect yourself. You got to protect your business, obviously. Okay, so this is a very unusual area of the game. So you're going to get a double Ubida right here. Whether or not you can get a triple, I don't know. See how he turns like red, which is kind of cool. Oh, wow, bro. That was messed up. I tried to actually punch him, not realizing I was on the dirt. So you see the two types of dirt right here? You can do the jump punch right there. But if you try a punch while on the purple dirt, and I've already seen this before in a previous level on Crash Bandicoot, you go into the ground, dive into the ground, I was gonna say. And you go underneath, pop up, you can kick them from underneath. I think you're protected like that. I don't know if the guy with the mallet, that's me, I don't like that. Ooh, there's a bunch that time. That's not good. Okay. Usually one. Okay. Not good. Not good at all. We're gonna hide from these dudes, bro. Did they actually see me or not? I don't think they did. That's good. We got a checkpoint. We got a checkpoint. Maybe they'll die due to the electricity. Okay. Should not have. I should have just tried swinging on them. So this is actually a good level here. Fuck you, buddy. Ah, wow. So I think that's 5 of them.
Game over.
Alright, so that was fun. Let's try that again. I like that level. Didn't even notice the purple dirt at first, to be perfectly blunt with you. Okay, so he is hittable one time. Okay. Get a new bit of right there. What have we got? Okay. Whatever, that worked. So there we go. I thought they followed you over the pit, but perhaps they do not. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Let's try it that way. They don't. We'll take it. Do you die if you go underneath those? Yes, you do. Okay. It took away my Ubida for people that couldn't see it. Alright, so we can just go like that. So they don't like the pits, apparently. Okay. Looks like if you just touch them, wow, okay, bro. Thanks a lot, bees. Thanks a lot, bees. Alright, I don't know what this guy's doing. He's scared. Looking like he's having a little bit of a meltdown right there. Ooh, we got them all. Okay. Ah, I missed time. I slide by like a second. Dude. Can I sue over that? I'm getting an attorney. I've got my attorney on the line right now, buddy. Alright, Alright, so we're gonna try this again. Last time the bees, the killer bees, they were not afraid to try me. We want to make them second best. Second guess the Bandicoot. You gotta make it, buddy. There we go. The judging was difficult on that. Hang on a second here. What's that? We're gonna have to try to find out at least what the hell that is. Probably an extra life. Yes, it is. So I think we can snag that without dying. I mean, I believe that I can. You gotta be kidding me, bro. What have we got? Get out of here. Get out of here. Watching my back, whatever. What have we got? Were we in 0 lives? These things are actually not that hard. To be perfectly honest with you. Okay, so we're gonna go. No extra life, okay. So you can only get it once. Sometimes you can get them after you die, and they're kind of. Not right there. Yeah, we need to be like right there. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna go early this time, and then how did I die? How did I even die? How did I even die? Alright, so the trick is to I got it this time. There we go. Don't worry about that extra life. Keep that in mind. Go right there. That's how you do this part. Yes. I got to the checkpoint with what? 0 lives? Not good. Not good. We're in bad shape. I don't understand how they actually jumped across that pit right there. They normally don't do that. They're breaking their own mechanics. Why? They're breaking their own mechanics. Well, I got 97, so... I thought I died, but I didn't. Okay, so here I can get an extra life. We're at 97. Bam, got it. If I were to guess, I would say that with that extra life, I could potentially beat this level. Just try. That's fucking hard right there. That's hard. Because the angles that little piranha plant, which looks like he comes straight out of freaking, damn, bro.
Game over.
Wow. So he can kill you perhaps when you're underground, I think. Okay. What a bigot. Like, if you really think about it. What a bigot. Get your ass out of here, boy. Alright, so this time, honestly, I'm going to try to be clean. But when you go underground, he does like a little jump kick, like that. So that's how you kill those dudes with the mallet. I'm gonna try to get a double Uber die here. How did they hit me and why? No. I'm restarting this shit. Fuck that. I wonder if you go into a level and you get an extra life and then you back out of the level if you get to actually keep it. Probably not. Where we at? We're at 4. Maybe we'll give that a shot. It's saying I got 10 apples. Or I think Wampa fruits, whatever they call them. We're going to call them apples. Alright, so 10 nuts. Alright. Might be able to milk the game a little bit here. Maybe even with an Uber da. We don't know. Let's try that. And that's a mechanic, it's kind of cheap, that I have not even attempted to institute yet, because I've been just playing it legit. And yes, walking on the rope, like was earlier on stream in Crash 1, is a legit technique. So it's above 10, yes, so you can actually keep it. So you can go in, you can actually milk a particular level for extra lives and then just bounce out of it. I think that stuff actually resets if you turn the game off, however. So there you go. More hints and tips from your local Crash Bandicoot expert on Bandicoots and Wampa fruits. Fuck that guy. Tired of him anyway. So those things explode and they will kill you. Did it bring back my Ubadada? No, it did not. Alright, so we can show that right there. Perfect. I think this is where I got hit last time. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Seriously. We're just gonna roll with it. Oh my god, bro. What? It's random? Come on. Perfect. So I think, oh shit, they do come out. I think they don't come out of that shit right here. Wrong. 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 2 extra lives is a little dangerous. 3 is not bad if I can actually kind of let the solid run here. There we go. That was a checkpoint. How did I miss that earlier? Do they come out right here? Where is the threshold? Let's test them a little bit. So that's pretty close right there, and they're still not coming out. They don't really actually come out, they just kind of threaten to, but if you're standing too close, they'll threaten to, and then it still hits you. Alright, so what you want to do here is now you gotta kill them. Prepare yourself for this jump, which we landed, thank God. Thank Lord Jesus. Ah! Wow. It's tricky. That is tricky. I killed everybody on that one shot. he spin kicked so many times with that. Okay, so that's good news. Go ahead and try this again. This time we're gonna actually have to hit them all. You gotta hit them all, but the jump is too far. Do we get 2 lives or 1 life? That's the question. Let's test that out. It says you got 1 life. So it said I had 1 life. I just died once, and then bam, I'm down to 0. So you get 2 lives when it says you got 1. Wow, bro. Tricky stuff. I knew how to do that section, but I got pressured into screwing it up. It's all good. Let's test to see if those kill you. What have we got? Let's actually try to keep that extra hit. What do you do? Start out with 4 lives? I don't know. Never even looked. Champ. Fucking Bandicoot champ. I don't think there's any other Bandicoots out there that star in games. There's a hedgehog named Sonic. Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier, though, is I kind of went off on a rant, but they should have actually made a complete package with some of these games, because there's kind of like sub-tier games with Crash and whatnot. I'm going to have to look them all up. I saw 2 different versions of Crash Bandicoot 2. One of them is probably for like the Sega, what do they call that? The hell is that thing called, the little handheld? I forget what it's called, but there was a little Sega handheld video gaming console that I personally don't have that I got to get at some point. And that's the way that goes. But we're going to have to check into that. I got to know all my ish. Second version, when I actually type it into YouTube and try to type in the name of the thing, it says there's a second version of Crash Bandicoot 2. I'm actually going to look that up real quick, though. But they certainly should have had a full compilation Crash game. If they're going to do like the first 3, they should have had kind of like the spin-offs and whatnot. I think there was a Monster one for like the PlayStation 2 or whatever. Should have just threw it in. List of all Crash Bandicoot games. Let's see here. Crash Bandicoot 2021. The hell is that? There's a new one? No, there ain't. Really? Is there? Is there really? Oh, cool. It's a mobile game, so I could get that right now. Really? I mean, they got the new Kingdom Hearts coming out in like 4 days. I think it's August 24th, which I've scheduled pretty much everything that I'm doing. Technically, that'll make me be playing 2 mobile games at once. Well, technically 3, since I play in tournaments in another. In addition to the 1 console game that I'm playing right now, which is probably going to be 3 in an hour or 2 or 3. That looks pretty damn good. I mean, these mobile games, this is like the biggest market so far as I hear. And for a mobile game, looks pretty spectacular. Let's check that out real quick. Let's try it out. All right, so that's technically the newest Crash game, I guess. Crash Bandicoot on the Run. Looks pretty cool to me. Came out in 2021, so that's new. Just a matter if it's canonological, if that's the proper way to say that. Canon. See if I can fit 4 humongoid games on my shitty cell phone. Is that Crash on the Run? Crash. Let's just type in Crash Bandicoot. Yep, right there. Okay, so. Yeah, there it is. Wow, okay. I'll install it and check it out. Installing now. It's crazy they develop all these mobile games and just give them away for free. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Alright, so we got Crash Bandicoot 4, which was just prior to that, released in 2020. Crash Bandicoot on the Run for the mobile was released in 2021, so that's pretty much brand new, basically. Uh, well, not entirely. It was released on March 25th, 2021. All right, let's go back though. Hang on now. Hang on. Something going on with these games. What is Mutant Island? These got to be like PS2 games. Okay. All right, so they made the original Crash Bandicoot. Those were obviously PlayStation exclusives. I think they might have ported them later. It says PlayStation Network, so that's probably, like a port to the PlayStation 3 or something like that. Wouldn't be a bad idea to go back and play the originals. Then there was Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex, which came out on all 3 of the major party consoles at the same time, the PlayStation 2, Xbox, number 1, which is what it would be, and the Nintendo GameCube. Wrath of Cortex, okay. Crash Twinsanity. Um, Released on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. I think Wrath of Cortex was your straight up run of the mill sequel to the Crash titles. So, yeah, that looks like a pretty good game. Wow, there's a lot of Crash games. More than I thought. Twinsanity. Twinsanity is the 11th installment in the Crash Bandicoot series. Really? What the hell? And the 5th game in the main franchise. Takes place 3 years after the events of Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex and follows the main protagonist. All right, so it's okay. So 2 of them for the PlayStation 2 looked like they got your straight up like platforming style setup, and then Crash of the Titans was the one that I was thinking of. Okay, or not. Once again for the PlayStation 2, but also the Xbox 360. It is the first game in the Crash Bandicoot series that did not have a Japanese release. What's going on with that, bro? We love our Japanese people. What's happening there? The Japanese are like the best video game developers in world history. Nintendo, folks, Zelda, Smash Brothers, even though I don't play Smash Brothers, I know it's big, huge. Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong itself. I mean, come on, man. Not released in Japan for the first time. Wow. Okay. So that is canon. The game's story centers on the discovery of a substance known as Mojo, which Siri's antagonist Dr. Neocortex and his niece Nina harvest to turn the inhabitants of the Wampa Islands into an army of ferocious mutants known as Titans. The protagonist of the series, Crash Bandicoot, must stop blah 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 blah. Okay, so yes, so it says that Crash institutes the technique of jacking to take control of and destroy the Titans while collecting Mojo. So he I don't know if he rides them in that or whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. I guess there is a little bit of kind of like hijacking going on with that. Crash of the Titans is the one that I was no. Mind over Mutant, is that it? No. Okay. How is that the 14th installment in the series? That's like the 6th listed game. Crash Team Racing. Okay. Holy crap, dude. There has been 4 Crash racing games. I would imagine that the previous 3 are pretty terrible. But the newest one I would assume is pretty good. Crash Bash. Let's see what that is. Okay, that's like a party game for the original PlayStation. I think I'd probably pass on that one. Crash Boom Bang. I don't know what that stuff is. Ah, that's what I was looking at. Okay, so there is a Crash Bandicoot 2 in Trance, and that is for the Game Boy Advance. These are like spin-offs. Yeah, they would almost need to make like a freaking compilation of some of these games. The hell is that? Oh, that's for the mobile. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of Crash games. My goodness. Okay, we're going to pass on diving deep into that right now. That's a lot. That is a lot of games. Okay, that's fair enough. That's enough of that. That's enough of that already. Wow. On the same token, let's check out this new Crash game I just installed. Pending what? Pending my ass. Pending my ass, bro. Come on. Let's see if they put up Kingdom Hearts Union X Dark Road early. You never know. It's supposed to be out on the 24th. The offline version will become playable at a later date. I've been seeing that for like 2 years. The good news is the new Kingdom Hearts comes out in like 4 days. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. All right, so we got Crash installed on the cell phone, so that looks good. That'll be fun later. Racists. What have we got? All right, so you just got to jump after it. That's all you really got to do. This is, I think, toss it whether it gives you an extra life or not. What does it give you? 1 and that's it ever? It's one of those weird boxes? Come on. Because I'm a fucking Bandicoot, bro. What's with that? Ah, that's not real. Come on. What have we got? Your timing's got to be that precise on that. What do I got? A double? I think I do. Something just makes me want to keep checking that out of kind of like obsessive compulsion. special little guy. Which I do not appreciate, by the way. I want to state that publicly. I keep pausing and blah, blah, blah. I know. Check and see if my homeboy has said anything to me. It's funny, I got people coming on my Facebook who I don't know who they are, where it says, if you'd like a quick reference on all 57 of the competitive gaming #1 ranks I've collected, check out my website. And I don't know what's funny. I mean, it seems like I kind of got like the laugh on that one, dominating the competition for 57 competitive gaming #1 ranks. All 57, a lot of those are tournament victories, literally like 17 of them. So they're tournament wins, #1 ranks in tournaments, aka a tournament win. Some of those #1 ranks are #1 ranks in the world. So the laugh's kind of like on the people that try to play me on some of those games. With anything in life, you don't win everything. You're not just like in professional football or professional hockey. You're not going to win everything. I think that's happened like one time in NFL history, where I think it was the Miami Dolphins. Maybe I don't even remember it. It was one of the teams that had an undefeated season, and I think they went and won the Super Bowl. How many times do you see stuff like that? So with that said, some of the games that I dominate on, win every game. It's just not the way that it works. You would think that a truth like that would be self-evident, but people apparently think that it's like funny that I say stuff. Whatever. Like I said, 35 of those are literally #1 ranks in the world. So there you go. Where I've truly dominated. How did they pop out that fast? This game is getting rather difficult, I must say. We're not going to go now. Okay, so that kind of backed off. There we go. And you're just going to have to... You got to hit 2 with the first shot, and then you got to hit 3 with the second shot. I'm aware of that, but I missed. Sucks.
Game over.
I clearly will not be getting any #1 ranks in the world at this game. But hey, you never know. Maybe Crash 3, maybe Crash 4. I'll take them if I get them. Looking at possibly going to 100. That was just absolutely wonderful right there. But you know what? We're just going to roll with it. Still try the level. Run button for platforming games. Ooh, that was scary. Definitely scary. Yeah, we're going to pause again, I know. Having a smaller viewership, at least that's live, allows me to kind of fuck around and goof off on the internet while I play my games. Which I'm an expert at, by the way. Yeah, that is cool though. Wow. Yeah, the thing is, I have I have not even posted all 57 of the #1 ranks because it's so many, and I got to dig them up. I think I posted all 35 of the #1 ranks in the world. I mean, I could do it. I should do it. Maybe this week or something, or technically that would be considered next week since we're on. What are we on, Saturday? We'll see. We'll see what happens. I would like to have that big wall, though, because it is pretty cool. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. We're going to go bang right there. After this game, I'm going to go argue with some people on the internet, aka debate them about video gaming. Then I'll probably do maybe Crash 3 today. I don't know. We shall see. Or, well, the only thing that I could say is attempt Crash 3. Attempt Crash 3. That's all that I can do. Let's see if anyone has challenged. Okay, there we go. Bunch of new notifications there. Okay, that sounds like fun later on. I got to get some cold water. All right, where we at? 2 lives. We're going to continue to go with it just to get the experience with the level, because this is getting a little bit harder as we go on in the game. Okay, there's my habit of holding that run button that does not exist in this game. And this is the one where you gotta hit them, I think. Ah, they took away my Uba Duba. Okay. We're gonna go for it anyway because we got a chickadee checkpoint right here. There we go. Bueno. There we go. See if we can get extra life right there. Great extra life. What have we got? Seriously, I'm not trolling or trying to sound funny. I really do want to try to get this extra life again. So I got the double Uba going on right now, and you get the triple. I don't know. I'm going to find out actually. Once again, this might not look hard. If people go back and watch the replay of this game, it's pretty tricky. A couple of things I pointed out with the Crash Bandicoot games. One of the things, like I was talking about, is you do not have that forward progress or that momentum as you're going forward with some of your jumps. And coming from other platformers and stuff like that, like only every once in a while I'll kind of feel like I do midair and I'll be like, he's going to make it if I just kind of let my hand off the controller for a second, and it just doesn't work. Whereas in pretty much just about every other major platform, I think, like I said, including Sonic, definitely including Donkey Kong, but you know, the big ones like your Mario, I think Metroid's a little bit different, perhaps. It's got its own kind of mechanical system, the original at least. Not talking about the new one that I don't have yet. I'm planning on running through the entire Metroid series like it all. Ah, fuck, bro. Sucks. Oh well, you know, this is where I always die. Yep, so he can hit you underground, okay. So we've established that for certain right there. I wasn't sure if he was catching me like mid-jump or whatever, but nah, he's nailing me underground. Where are we at? Final life. Ah, I had him that time, actually. A little bit, but not as cold as I like it. I gotta put my stuff in the freezer. Alright, so once again, I'm gonna say it again. This level is not even really frustrating. It's hard. It's got some tricky timing to it. I'm halfway talking, bullshitting half the time. Can't blame the chat though, because since I've eliminated the chat from the stream, there's been a lot of progress in some areas that I usually don't make as quickly as progress on. That's how you would properly word it. Oh my god, bro. You know what? I'm just skipping out on that one. Depends on where we're. No, that one we're just gonna cancel out. Fuck that shit. Alright, so what are we playing next? G.I. Joe Blackout was meant to be a substitute for a third-person shooter called Gears of War 5. Competitively, ended up not being competitive, at least for the Switch. Still an okay game. I beat it yesterday. It doesn't really have very much to offer. It's got a lot of potential, though, with the G.I. Joe brand name. South Park The Fractured But Whole is the sequel to South Park The Stick of Truth, which I thought was a pretty solid game, but there was a lot of areas in the game that were not quite what I expected them to be. So I rated it kind of like in the middle range of the numerical bracket, on a scale of 1 to 10. Fractured But Whole, I honestly don't like very much. I feel like the system's kind of crappy. Zelda Skyward Sword HD is one of the only mainline Zelda games that are three-dimensional. Well, any of the Zelda games, quite frankly. It's one of the only Zelda games that I've never beaten. I'm not talking about tiny little spin-offs or whatever. What would be a Zelda spin-off, even if there is one? I can't even think of any. Pretty much they're all mainline, even if they're Game Boy titles or whatever. I've played most of them. There's several that I have not. Phantom Hourglass, I think, is one that I have in my little box to the left of me that I have not played. But I've played and beaten the Minish Cap. I've played and beaten the original Game Boy title. I think the first Zelda Game Boy title that was ever made on the actual gray Game Boy. That's the one that they remade for the Switch that I got to get. I forget the name of it right now because I'm just dealing with so many fucking video games at the same time. I really am. So I got a decent memory, but I'm dealing with a lot of stuff. So Knights of the Old Republic. This is I believe it's a high definition remaster. I don't know. Let's take a quick peek at that real quick because this is a downloadable title. The thing is, just doing some of my research and whatnot, I kind of took a peek at whether or not. I was like, okay, so if I'm going to replay through the first Knights of the Old Republic, why not just play Knights of the Old Republic Part 2? Because I purchased it from Best Buy and I played it for like 20 seconds. I was like, man, this is fucking garbage. Like, the graphics in this game are terrible. I can't really sympathize or connect with the characters. I don't really like them. I think they suck. But apparently Nintendo Switch has a version. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like a high definition remake. So we'll play that a little bit later. We'll be getting into some of the RPGs a little bit later. Like I said, I'm trying to work through the backlog. That's the whole point of what I'm doing right now. It's part of the reason why I turned off my chat. Some people think that I turned off my chat to hide from people or to I was going to say not take comments from people. That's part of it. One of the main reasons is just so I can focus on the gaming itself and not constantly have to be responding to other stuff. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Nintendo eShop. It should go in. I think I'm connected to the internet. So like I said, I believe, hopefully it doesn't give any information on my shit. I don't think it does. No. Star Wars. Wait a second. How do you space Y button? God, dude, these buttons are just so weird. Star Wars. There we go. That'll find it if it exists, which it does, so far as I understand. Yeah, there we go. Check it out. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. Ah, that sucks. It's actually got a discount, but I'm not going to buy it right now. So like I'm going to have to pay the $15, but $12.74 is pretty solid actually. Got that. A lot of the Lego Star Wars stuff I already played. Star Wars The Force Unleashed I got is one of the free titles when you're like a member of whatever, you know. Xbox Live, PlayStation, whatever. I think it was Xbox Live. Lego Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 2 Character Pack. Oh. The Lego games are actually pretty much E-rated. They're pretty cool because the Lego games are cool because you just break fucking everything in the game. It's kind of like the old school Ratchet and Clank games where just practically everything is destructible. For an adult and as an adult, I find that quite fun. And if you're doing something like playing like a Indiana Jones Lego game or something like that, you know, it's got the same story obviously as the Indiana Jones films, but they just kind of play it off in the Lego realm as like a goofy retelling of the story in Lego format. It's actually pretty cool. I think it's kind of goofy and funny. And then you just break everything. It's fun. I do. All right, so yeah, that's a remaster. No question. That's a remaster. So this is Knights of the Old Republic Part 2.
These Sith, they seek the death of all Jedi. We cannot hope to triumph against them alone.
So I'll check that out. Oh yeah, that looks much, much better. Because I'm just picturing in my mind what it looked like for the original Xbox. And that particular picture doesn't make it look too great. It looks similar to the original Xbox version, but that looks... Overall, it definitely looks better. But where's the description? Do they not describe this shit? Honest question, like, where's the description, dude? What? Oh, come on, dude. So I looked on the internet, and as we know, everything on the internet is true. Everything that I read on the internet is true, from my perspective. And the internet, which I believe is a deity, said that this is a high definition remake. So it looks like it is. Why would it not just say that it... Oh, read more. There we go. That could be it. Okay. Do they still seriously not say that it's a high definition upgrade? Ooh, we got our diversity. Diverse crewmates. Ooh. Supported controllers, that's pretty cool. It's just like you may only use the Pro controller. Wow, they make you spend like $80 or whatever it was, 70. I think I spent 70 on mine like freaking 3 years ago. Still in pristine condition. I mean, these Switch Pro controllers, anything made by Nintendo, like their controllers and stuff, have always been very good. Backups and knockoffs have always been, you can get some good ones, but you're kind of taking a risk with some of them. The Wavebird, one of the first ever wireless controllers for a Nintendo console ever, was really good. All right, so it does not actually say, for whatever reason, that it is a high definition remake or a remaster. The hell is this? Lego Star Wars or Skywalker Saga Mumble Mode Pack. Okay, right. Let's see if we can sneak something special in here and actually get something free. I don't know. I don't know what this is. So why does Nintendo not really like give you details on some of their stuff that they list online like the Xbox does or the PlayStation? Oh, that's cool. Skywalker Saga Deluxe Edition is cheaper than the regular version. I don't get stuff digitally though. You can't really get these physically right now. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the high definition remake that I already have on my dashboard. So far as I understand, there is no physical version of it, and it's only available on the Switch. So, two key things. I mean, it doesn't look downright spectacular, but it doesn't look bad at all for quite an old game. I mean, this is from the original Xbox. However, this was kind of like a holdover because I believe they're remaking the entire game. So the Nintendo Switch version is a holdover until they get to that remake. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of strange. It doesn't even say that it's a high definition remake. Why would they not advertise it like that? Make sure that I'm correct on that. Yeah, so it does not advertise it as such, unless it does in the video. Perhaps let's check out the full video without interruptions.
In the end, you belong to neither the light nor the darkness. You will forever stand alone.
Yeah, this game was alright. I never really understood the combat system. It's kind of funky.
If Malik is not stopped, the Republic will fall.
The Force fights with me!
But I have gotten pretty goddamn good at video games since I played this one. Okay, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and still nothing. Okay. It's kind of strange. I've never seen anything like that. It is basically like a remastered version at the very least, if not like a high definition upgrade. I'd have to once again look it up on the internet because, quite frankly, it doesn't specify here. But so, due to the fact that it does not specify what it is or state, it's not a port. That's kind of what I'm getting at. This is definitely not a port of the original Xbox title. So, whatever the first one is the same thing as the second one in terms of how they refined the game. So, there you go. They got both of them. I did want to see that because I heard rumors on the almighty internet. So we're not playing that next because that's a big game. And I'd rather play them back to back, quite frankly. With the Zelda games, I kind of want to go on a spree. There's a couple that I'm missing that I need. And I'd like to play a bunch of them at the same time. What game will be next? Oh yeah, well, after the Crash games, I guess. It's going to be Crash 4, then the Crash Racing game for the Switch. And then that's probably going to be it for now. Maybe Sonic Mania. We'll see, though. I don't know what the hell Sonic Forces is, so I'm not going to get to that right now. I have to look it up because there actually is, believe it or not, a story involved in the Sonic games. One that I never really paid attention to. Alright, let's get back to Crash. Bandicoot. Old Crash.
Activision presents a smashing blast from the
So looking
past.
forward to starting my own video game, or excuse me, video distribution website.
Developed by
Or whatever they're called.
Vicarious
Should be
Visions.
interesting. Maybe I'll host it from like Iceland or something.
It's Crash
Alright, so the
Bandicoot.
only option for Warped Part 3 of Warped is a new game, so we haven't touched that. Let's see if we can put a bigger dent in this game. I might have to jump offline for a little bit. Yeah, I am going to have to jump offline, and then we'll finish this with a part 3 for Crash 2. And we'll make the dedication of finishing on the third part, unless I can't. I hope that's not the case. I like to use the C word, that's for sure. I don't like the C word on my stream. I want to make sure this is picking up my freaking voice anyway. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's picking up most of it. I gotta like practically yell into my microphone. Which I don't mind, by the way. I mean, I'm not protesting, necessarily. But I can't always do that too late. It's not a good thing to do that too late. Alright, so we kept the Ubadada that time, which is good. See if we can potentially get a second one of them, and we're at what? 4 lives. Okay. Alright, so we got it in a spot that I kind of forgot about. Made it there. This is where we don't want to die, though, and I did again. God, bro. Jesus. Didn't get a life either, so I'm just not going to try that part again, honestly. For whatever, I don't think it was random. I think sometimes maybe some of these boxes are just kind of random and they give you extra lives. I mean, I actually jumped out of the game and I was going into the freaking Nintendo Switch Marketplace, remember? And it still didn't reset that section. Or at one point it gave me an extra life, so I don't know what the hell is going on with that. Mechanic I'm genuinely confused on, at least a little bit. I don't think I've seen that in the first Crash. Alright, so let's just go like that, and then go. Got it. Ah! No. No. Ugh. Right, we got it that time, boys. We got him. block all those clowns right there. There we go. Mucho bueno. Try to get an extra life with that. And then here you actually have to, like, not die first of all, but also hit all 5 of those. Alright, there we go. Alright. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so I didn't think I've gotten here yet, but I have. You can actually fling that guy into the nitro, however, which I wasn't aiming for, so I can't say that I quote missed, but I don't know, like, what the hell's going on right here. What do you do right there? Honestly, we're just gonna try running past. How about that? Oh my goodness. Fucking shit. That didn't work. Kick the dude sideways, boy. Come on now. That's a funny angle. Alright, so let's just go for it here. See if we can make it. Potentially. There we go. We got it. We got a checkpoint. Do we have lives left? Yes. Excellent. So this is the farthest I've gotten so far. They hide once again. Remember when you get too close to them. Those little spike trap guys. Okay, that was a little early on coming out of the thing, but okay. That was close. In theory, I could have died right there, but I didn't. Okay, let's just see what we can do here. Oh my god, bro. What the fuck is up with that one? Really? Really, bro? Really?
Game over.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is like the first legit hard level of the game. I don't think it's because I'm talking the whole time either and distracting myself. It's pretty hard, actually. But it's honestly the fucking bees, bro. If I could get really keen timing on hitting them, that would be good. Don't know if that's going to happen because they're pretty hard to kill. With precision and consistency, at least. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my god, dude. Oh shit, I don't know how I didn't die there, but I was supposed to. Don't tell. Nobody's gonna tell on me. And I'm not gonna fall for that this time. Nope. We want all the apples we can get. There we go. Yeah, come on, bees. Come on, bees. There you go. Get off my case. Alright, that was pretty slick right there. What do we got? 4? Okay. Perfect. I think they're going to try me again, but that's okay. I'll be too far ahead this time. There we go. Alright, so that little slide option is actually pretty good. I'm going to get you ahead of the bees. Maybe I can try it that way. Try to get through the level that way. I mean, it worked right there, I'll tell you that much. Worked clean right there, boys. Worked pretty clean right there as well. Oh my goodness. That part has got something going on with it where I don't know what to do, honestly. Ah, fuck. Damn it. It's like, I don't understand what you do here. Really? They go backwards now. Okay. So I'm not sure if they were meant to go backwards the whole time, or if that's a mechanical change. I don't even know, honestly. But we could, in theory, I suppose, maybe try knocking them out early. I don't know. We got past it. Fuck those guys and their mothers. Here we go. We got an extra life points right here where we have the opportunity to get some extra lives. Oh shit, I didn't even see the stuff below me. And the danger was there the whole time. Okay. Or we got 92, so that's going to put me at like 4 lives, I think. So that's going to give me an extra 1. So that's going to count towards my ones that I had outside of the bonus area. Whoops, okay, I was way off on that one. That's okay. There's going to be a dude here, yep. Very expected. Alright, so the whole thing about this game is collecting these crystals for Cortex, which I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but nonetheless, that's what you're doing, basically. Alright, so we... Okay, that's not good. Was not expecting that. So we have the opportunity to kind of camp out a little bit here. Look at how much further this level has went past where I was consistently dying. This is it, though. That's it. I got it. It was quite the level. Oh, shit, dude. That was cool. What does that mean? I got, like, every box? I don't even know. I got some sort of new gem I never saw. Crash 4 is going to be fire, though, so I might actually do the racing game before that. As if the racing game's not gonna be fire. It's gotta be, bro. I mean, it's a modern version of the racing game. They've created 3 prior to the new nitro-fueled one. Here's Home Slice again.
Crash, I have discovered that the opposition is being masterminded by Dr. Nitrous Brio,
Pretending to be your BFF.
Brio was responsible for our misunderstandings in the past. He forced me to assist him in his plot for world domination, and he's at it again. He will attempt to stand in our way. Be on your guard, Crash. Deliver the crystals to Engine.
What? Okay, so we got that one. Okay, so that was it. That's it right there. And then I'm probably going to jump off stream after I beat this guy, if I even can. This is the boss for this world. So this will be the 6th and final level for World 4. And then on the final stream of this game, I will move on to World 5 and beat the game, and then go to Crash 3 after that. And then we'll see what happens after that in terms of where I go next. Where's my... Oh, okay. Alright. So he throws things at this dude. hyperspace alien guy. Fuck you, dude. For real. Wow, okay. Alright. Come on, bro. I'm gonna try this dude a bunch of times, but if it gets a little bit too frustrating, I'm gonna take a break. Because I do need a break. I gotta take breaks. You're gonna go laser again? Is he going to buoy? Alright, so both of his things are smoking, so that's kind of like a good thing. Like the toughest boss in the game so far. Many of the bosses in the past in this game and the previous worlds have been extremely easy. I think the second or what was it, the third world boss, one of those, I don't know. Ah, that fucking word, donkey. Donkey.
Game over.
Alright, let's keep trying this guy a little while here. See if I can get a hit on him at least. That would be nice. I'm landing shots on him, which are doing damage, but if you look in the bottom left-hand corner for the boss's health, it's not obviously taking any damage away, so there's something that I gotta do to do that. Probably keep hitting him just like how I'm doing, and then avoid the lasers. And basically, once I destroy one of the pieces of equipment that he's using to actually fire the lasers against me, that'll probably count as a hit, I'm guessing. What's up with that? There we go. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say he's obviously going to have a new type of weapon. And there it is. I'd like to beat him before I jump off, just so I can concentrate on the final world. There's going to be 6 levels. And yeah, I mean, they're getting kind of hard, so I'd like to be able to just kind of concentrate all that energy and the mental fortitude on that one section. That would be the strategy after a little break. Still, once again, I cannot commend the developers enough by making a relatively solid game that's old as hell. That's still pretty fun. Much better than the first. Okay, so here we're gonna have to try something a little bit different. Not landing anything. A little something right there. For a second, he was blocking all my shit. So it looked like an intimidating boss, but he's actually not that hard. At least not yet, anyway. Okay. Oh, shit, dude. Okay. Bam, baby. See what you do now, though. This is gonna kill, probably. So, like, okay. Got him? There we go. Alright, cool. Yeah, when he does a little peace signal, that's it. It is all over! As Mike Goldberg, former UFC commentator, used to say. The legend himself. I think he's somewhere else now. Boy, was he great.
So, you are helping Cortex gather crystals. Yet, you have acquired a gem. Interesting. Well, Crash, know this. As long as you are allied with Cortex, you are my sworn enemy, and I will do anything in my power to stop you. If
Blah,
truly
blah.
your concern,
So I think, I don't know who that guy is.
gather the gems, not the crystals. If you obtain all 42 gems, I can use them to focus a laser. Ah, yes, a laser beam that will destroy Cortex and the space station he has created. Until then, I must use my forces to stop you from gathering crystals.
So that's going to be the actual secret levels in the game, and I think there's only... It's a secret world, technically, but the secret world, so far as I understand, based on my research, has only got like 2 levels. So now we can go up. This is the final world. And check it out real quick. Try to get an idea of what these are going to be. Pack attack, you're going to be dealing with rats in that one. Spaced out, don't know. That's the final level, though. I mean, you can play them in any order, actually, I think. Alright, so yeah, those crystals, you know, you're gonna get the purple crystals, but then the gem that I just got a second ago that was kind of like whitish, or like almost looks like a diamond. Those you get by, I think, hitting every box in the level, and there's no way that I'm doing all that. Not happening. What the hell?
What is your problem, Bandicoot? I will not ask you again to bring me the crystals. Obtain the remaining 5 crystals, Crash, and bring them to me.
Okay. Jump offline right now. I will be back a little bit later.